going through this journey, symptoms, in general, are traumatic, right? And they feed that OCD loop, right? Your mental alarms and your physical alarms tag team you, and they're just beating you down, right? Because they're trying to get your attention. They're not really. It's not your enemy. It's just doing its job to get your attention to perceive danger, because you're in a survival state, and it works amazing. It's doing its job perfectly. So you're dealing with your everyday symptoms, right? They suck. You feel like shit. You don't like them. They're scary. Whatever. We know that. And then you get the old symptoms that come back. Those ones suck. The ones that kind of passed, they fucked off. Some of them fucked off for 10 years, 5 years. Some of them, most of them, a couple months, right? But they always come back. And they're pretty scary. They suck because it's like, oh no, what does this mean? What does this mean? I got to start all over? Right? Am I going to get sick again like that one time that I went through? That was a hard time in my life, going through that. Oh my God, it was horrible. I went to the hospital. I had emergency surgery. Oh, that was horrible. And I remember it didn't go away. It stuck with me for 2 years, and then it finally went. What does that mean? It's going to be another 2 years of this shit? Does this mean it's something horrible is going to happen again? Like, again? Like, I can't do this anymore. Again? So that sucks. But then there's the new symptoms, right? I think the new symptoms are probably the worst out of all of them. I think I could say that with confidence, right? You could say it. Because with old symptoms, you know them, you know they'll pass, you know you're going to live, you know that you can, you know them, you've been through them. They'll go, you have confidence that they'll go, they do go, right? And you're kind of used to the hell, you're used to the evil. Right? Compared to the evil that you don't know. And the reason why the new one is so scary, it's because it's new. You haven't had a chance to understand it, right? You're going to catastrophize. Catastrophize. That means it's a bunch of fries with sour cream, chives. When you're dealing with the new symptoms, you will freak out. You will catastrophize, right? You're going to assume that you're either having brain damage, that what does this mean? Is it ALS, MS? That you're going to have a stroke, or you're going to have an infection, you're going to have sepsis, or you're going to have a heart attack, or, the usual suspects, right? Or some sort of decline, illness decline. Oh no, am I going to lose blah, blah, blah function in my blah, 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 dementia, decline, suffering, slow suffering. Like, every time I got a new symptom, it was the worst. It was scary. It was different, because it was, the difference. Even if it was something that didn't hurt, most of them didn't hurt, right? They were just new, and it was something, right? It could have been an itch or a pain in my pinky, right? That made me freak the fuck out. Right, and then there are the ones that are scary. The ones where you have pain, where your bladder is painful, right, and you got to pee 25 times, or your rectum is got stabbing pains, your balls hurt, you got this smoldering inflammation sensation in your bum. You can't understand what it feels like. There's magma in your bum. Your tailbone it hurts. It feels like it's melting. Then come the mental alarms. New mental alarms. Those are just as scary, if not more, way more scary. Just imagine the first time you have to deal with an OCD looping thoughts. Anxiety that didn't go away. A panic attack that didn't stop. What else is there? Oh, the brain fog. The first time you had the brain fog. The first time you lost your memory. You were down the street from your house and you didn't know how to get home. Remember when that happened? Or the first time the right side of your body, we're going to go back to physical symptoms. The first time the right side of your body went weak and your speech started to slur. Or the first time that your hands went numb, your face went numb. Tingling hands, right? The first time, let's go back to mental alarms. The first time you had derealization, that is fucking scary. Where you feel like you're not really in your body. you're like not really inside your own head, right? It's like your spirit is kind of like not here. It's like it's pulled back a bit. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? When you're used to going, ding, everything's clear. Everything's like, I can hear. Everything's right. You're in your body tight, right? Everything just fits. It just hits right, right now. But people that are normal, they don't know what hits right. It's normal. They don't know anything else. There's no contrast to understand that there's something wrong. Because you only know what normal is, which is right when you're not normal, you miss normal. And once you get normal back, you're like, oh fuck, right? It's like you're inside your body like this, and then you're finally get normal again. You're ding, vision clear, thoughts gone. I got energy. I got strength. I feel normal. That feeling is the best feeling in the world. It's so amazing that I don't really like smoking weed anymore. I rarely want to drink a beer. Sometimes I want to, and I stop myself. I go, you know what? Do I really enjoy drinking a beer? What do I really enjoy? You know what I enjoy? You know what I love? Being clear in the mind. Because I had it taken away from me, and then when I got it back, I really appreciated what it's like to be normal, to have a clear mind that works, to not have thoughts hijack you. So people that have been in this journey for a while, try to think back to all the first times you had, all the firsts of new symptoms, and remember how they scared the shit out of you and how you were looping on them for weeks at a time, sometimes months. And I'm going to try to remember some of my first. What were they? They were tachycardia. My heart rate just would not come down. That was food sensitivities. Being allergic to everything except for beef and rice. What the fuck what's up with that? What does this mean? What is this? What does it mean when I can't eat anything? What the fuck is... I must be having some severe disease going on somewhere. I don't even know if it's my gut. What the... I don't even think I'm dying. It's probably worse than what the hell is going on. Or when all of a sudden you can't poop. Not because you're constipated. You know the poop is there, but there's like a wall there. You're pushing, you're like, no amount of pushing will get this poop out. What the fuck is going on? Why is there all of a sudden a wall that went ching ching, clink 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 clink, grrr, clink. How's that? The derealization. Again, I think that's scary shit. OCD looping thoughts, anything mental will it'll traumatize you. It'll, right? Something throughout, life threw us curveballs that got us here somewhat, right? But, life put the bucket this full, right? But us freaking out about the symptoms filled it right up. It did the rest. We made ourselves sick just from focusing within, right? That's just snowballing it. It drove up the baseline, right? We locked that in, hardwired that in. Not just the toxic relationships, which I'm going to make a video about, narcissists, and just toxic relationships, bad work environment, traumatic events throughout your life, medications, smoking cigarettes, being an alcoholic, binge drinker, party animal, right? All these things, you name it, anything that affected you negatively, physically, or mentally, it brings the baseline up to survival, right? It starts to think that there's laggers around, and it locks it in there. It creates neural pathways, right? And it fills this guy up. And this starts to overflow, right? Not feeling your feelings, pulling 747s, right? Throughout your life, not releasing them. So when you do this work, here's the thing. I always say this. When you start doing this work, this is why I think I made most of my videos are about this topic, most of them. How this work is going to get worse. You're going to feel like shit. It's going to get worse. You're going to have old symptoms come back. You're going to have the same symptoms that you have come and go. Old ones come back. And then you're going to have new ones come. Right? New. Shit's going to get worse. And people don't understand that. I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, so I have these methods. Right? You're recovered. You have a success story. This is amazing, right? You hear about the success stories. But you never hear the journey. What happened in between? And when you don't hear about the in-between bullshit at month 5 or year and a half or month 2, when you don't hear about that, you're going to get sucked up by your catastrophizing thoughts. You're going to believe some shit. And you're going to get off track. You're going to have delays. And some people quit because they think, well, this doesn't make sense. Why do I feel worse? Why am I not getting better? It's one thing that I'm feeling worse. It's another thing that I've been doing this work for a month and a half and I'm not getting better. Like, this is horrible. This is stupid. This doesn't work, right? And that's why those people, they quit or they keep going, but they never really went. They never really started, right? They're those ones that know about everything, but they haven't really done the work. Here's the thing about symptoms, right? TMS calls it symptom imperative, where symptoms move around, right? The point of the symptoms is to get your attention, to perceive danger, right? Your bucket's full, your baseline's at 1,000, things are overwhelmed, something's got to give, right? Your body's barely catching up, but it's keeping you alive, but it's not doing the healing, it's not balancing out the toxins, it's not, detoxing, it's not, helping you with digestion, it's not helping you with your biome, it's not helping you. It's buffering. It's going slow. Something's got to give. Body keeps the score. So that's another reason why you have symptoms. Those are the main reasons. The body's overwhelmed. Something's got to give. Symptoms arise. Second reason is because you got perceived danger. It's got to send you an alarm to get your attention. So you get physical and mental alarms. Right? Well, what people are doing is they're moving their loads around. They're turning off alarms. But the thing is, when you turn off an alarm here, another alarm turns on. Right? So, right? Right? Something's got to replace it because you're not moving, you're not emptying your bucket, and you're not bringing that baseline down back to the program. Rest and digest, and not bring it back to standby. And when you don't do the work, because there's work to be done, you actually have to do work. Especially if you're a person that's dealing with over 70 symptoms. Your baseline's way out there. You got 18 of these that are fully loaded. So feeling your feelings, that's a good start. Right? But it's not enough. Especially when your brain's hijacking you and you got these OCD looping thoughts and you're freaking out. You got anxiety, post-traumatic stress. Right? Feeling your feelings, not going to cut it. You need steps. You need to reset that alarm system. There's just no other way. You have to do the work and you got to stick to it. And when you do it, when you start doing the work, things are going to get worse. Why? Well, when you start healing physically, right? You start moving shit around. This starts to come down a bit. Baseline starts to get a little agitated. It's like, all right, we're moving here. Right? You start turning off alarms. The brain, there's two things that happen. It needs to get your attention still because this thing's not empty yet. You're still also running a survival state. Right? Sure, that came down 5 notches, but that's what, 95 out of 100? That's still a survival state. Right? It's still moving slowly. It still has to get your attention, but physically, oh my gosh, arthritis is gone. Oh my God. I can feel my hand now. Oh, I'm able to sleep 7 hours. That's great. I'm able to poop once a week again. This is amazing. God, that pain that was in my chest, gone. Oh my God, I turned that alarm off. It's off now. Gone. Which is great, right? You're starting to see evidence that things are shifting. But the thing is, when you don't budge your allostatic loads and your baselines, right? When you're not making the efforts to do the steps, to do the work, when you're not doing the work to bring those things down, something's got to replace all those alarms that you turned off. It has to. Here's the thing, it has to replace them because it has to get your attention. The alarms will always be in a form of something that will get your attention, something that's always scary, something that you don't like, something that's new. So it's not going to send you pictures of daffodils and kitty cats because that's not an alarm. You're not going to give a shit if the brain goes, kitty cats, right? You'll be like, cool, I don't care. Don't give a shit. Sure, I like cats. I like dogs better. I used to like cats a lot more. I was a cat person growing up. Now I love dogs. I'm a dog guy. Anyway, what's the point of you sending me pictures of dogs? It kind of gets me attention, but it's more, I don't feel like it's an urgent emergency. I don't feel like I have to fight or flee, right? Because that's the point of an alarm. Because it needs urgency. It needs you to make that decision. Are we fighting or we're fleeing? What are we doing? Right? It needs to get your attention to perceive danger. It thinks there's ligers everywhere. But if you don't do the work to empty that allostatic load bucket, to fully reset your alarm system so that it's back down to zero, back to standby, it's going to keep running that old program of survival because you haven't done enough work to reset it. So it keeps giving you more alarms. So when you turn one off, great, another one comes up. And then when you turn that new one off, an old one comes up. See how crazy this is? How annoying that is? Or let's say you turned most of them off. Most of them off. Right? Most. In 6 months, all of a sudden you got 5 that are coming back. Because something happened in your life. Right? Somebody passed away. Or you had to put your dog down. Or you lost your job. Right? Life still happens. All of a sudden you're back with symptoms again. This is bullshit. Again? So there is work to be done. There are steps that you have to do. Right? Because if not, all you're doing is moving loads around. It's like having a hoarding house that's packed to the tits. Right? And you're like, I know what we'll do. We'll make a path to the front door, to the main bedroom, to the washroom. So I can go to bed, get up, take a shit, and get out of the house if I need to. But we're just going to make a path. Okay, so what about that dead cat under the stairs? And the cat shit everywhere? And the cockroaches? What about all that? Fuck it, we'll just make a path. Right? But the place is still a fire hazard. But you can use a washroom. That's true. I guess we could manage. We could live here still. It's a fire hazard, but I can we can run out of here. We can even have fire drills. Fuck it, let's have some fire drills. So instead of cleaning the place up from top to bottom and fully doing the work, we're just going to do some fire drills and just make a path to the washroom and to the front door? You got it. But what about all the dirty diapers that are going up to the ceiling now? It smells like shit. There's maggots everywhere. What about all that? Just close the door. Don't even have to worry about it. See, that's what makes this wonderful. You just close doors. Don't even have to think about it. But can't we get sick from that? Won't there be mold? Won't there be a fire? What about the cockroaches? Won't that affect the air we breathe? Can't we get sick from that? Isn't that going to be, can't we burn alive? Can't we just... So this is where I think TMS needs an update. Right? Dr. Sornos, he was onto something. Right? He's the original gangster. He's the OG of the mind-body space. But it's not just limited to back pain or pains. It's not just about feeling feelings. I think it should be renamed, updated, and called the mind-body space. Anything that is affected because you're in dis-ease is mind-body. Right? You don't have to take any tests for this shit. If you feel like shit mentally or physically, it's mind-body. That's it. You don't need to take any tests. Fuck that. Start doing the work. You can recalibrate. You can bring the baseline down. You can turn off alarms. Right? You can empty that big ass allostatic bucket load. And I want you to remember, when you start doing the work The reason why things get worse is because the brain is perceiving danger and it'll give you resistance. When it starts to notice that we're moving in any direction, right? It's going, okay, what's he doing there? He's starting to do visuals. He's starting to feel better. He's sending me messages of safety. I don't like this change. Right? Because the way it thinks is right now, I know where we are. Right? Right now, I know that you're alive. I don't care if you suffer. Don't give a shit about that. My job is to keep you alive. I'm the security system. And I'm doing my job. And we're alive. Because all the years of bullshit that you put me through, the 30 years of bullshit, told me that we're in danger over and over and over and over again. You're telling me we're surrounded by ligers. Then we're being shot at. Different forms of danger you kept showing me. So I had to use this survival program to keep you alive, to keep you going. And now that I know that you're alive, I don't want to risk anything. I'm not going to risk anything. We're not risking anything. Because of all the years of danger, it brought the baseline up and made me think, okay, well, we need this survival program. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. I don't really like it. It doesn't feel good. It is what it is. You were in danger. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to make sure you're going to stay alive. Okay, that's good. But you're telling me we're safe now? All that danger is gone? I can't take that risk. I can't believe you, man. And now you're telling me you got this new program, and if I just follow you over here, we're going to have 1,000 years of peace and safety over there? Right over there? Just walk over there? I can't take that risk, buddy. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. We're staying here. You know what? I'm going to grow some roots. Fuck it. I'm going to give you some resistance. I'm going to fight you, man. I'm going to fucking fight you. Because I'm fighting for your life, buddy. I'm fighting for your life. So, it's going to be a battle. So, it perceives change as danger. It's a risk. Because it's got its roots to the ground. It's holding you there, going, no, we're not budging, buddy. No. Oh, you think that's safety? Maybe. I don't care. We're not going to find out, though. No, I'm not going to let you find out. I don't care. You can send me pictures of safety. You can talk about safety. I don't care. I'm in charge. Because of all the bullshit, I couldn't trust you. I'm in the driver's seat. We ain't budging. So, sorry, buddy. We're not having any. We're not going to have a sit down. We're not going to talk about the contract. We're not going to redo. No, we're going to. This is it. This is the rest of your life. Yeah. Well, let's see. You want to try to heal? Whatever this healing bullshit is? Yeah. No, I'm going to pull back. Sorry. I can't take a risk. Sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I know you think I'm a prick. Technically, you've been a prick for 30 years. You've been a prick. You kept bringing us through danger constantly with that narcissist you fucking dated. What was that all about? And you thought it'd be pretty cool to be a fucking binge drinker for 10 years. Yeah, that's fun. Right? No. Fuck that. No. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm looking out for you. I'm not being a dick. You were a dick. I'm not being a dick. And I don't care. I don't care. So when you start healing and you're thinking, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Because I want to heal. I want to recover. I want to get rid of these symptoms. Right? The more you heal physically, the more your alarms start to skyrocket. Or you'll get new symptoms. Why is that? Because the brain needs to get your attention to perceive danger. It has to get inventive. Right? It's like, oh, no, we're changing. Oh, no, okay. Send him the same symptom I've been sending him for the past 10 years. That's not working? We got to create a new one. All right, give him brain fog. Give him OCD looping thoughts. We got to bring that alarm. Give him that pain in the anus, the itchiness. Yeah, that works. That's a scary one. What? No, it's not enough. We need to really bring it up. How about pain? Pain? No, that hasn't worked. It's scary, but not enough. We need more. We need a big alarm. We need it urgently. We need it. Let's get to the drawing board. Let's get the team on this. We need a scary alarm. Think of one. Can you think of one? Send gut issues. Tell him he can't eat anymore. We've already tried that. Didn't we try that already? We already tried that. Okay, give him POTS. He's kind of having POTS. He's not listening. Well, what else can we do? Okay, we got to give him something new. What else can we do? Give him something new. That's the song. Pretend you're the brain, your security system, and this is the song. What else can we do? Let's give him something new. Cheesy, cringy. Ugh. You know what? From my experience, anything that was new was scary. Didn't matter what it was. My security team didn't have to go far to get my attention because everything scared me. And then eventually when I started doing the journey and I started to see the patterns, then it had to get crafty. It would usually, what it would do is it would listen to things from my environment. Let's say I heard somebody talk about an illness, or I heard something on TV, and it would put it in a file and be like, oh, that's a good one. You know what? We'll get them with that one next week. Let's put that in the file, right? And it wouldn't hit me right away. It wouldn't go, oh, you heard about knee pain today? Okay, let's give that to him tomorrow. And then they go, no. Hold off. Because if you give it to him tomorrow, he'll put 2 and 2 together. You see where? Right. And he'll dismiss it, and we didn't get his attention to perceived danger. Right. So what do you want to do? Delay it? Okay, let's delay it. Let's delay it by 2 weeks. Why so long? Because then he'll dismiss the idea that, no, that's a coincidence. No. That was 2 weeks ago. No. The brain won't do that. It won't put something away in a file and then bring it back just to scare me. It won't do that. Why would it do that? It doesn't work like that. It's not that crafty. It doesn't, right? It's not thinking. It doesn't, does it? Will it? Does it do that? Yeah, because it's you. You're crafty. It's gonna fool you because it's you. It's going to do what it has to do. It gets crafty and it fucks with you. Don't think it won't. It has to. It has to. This is also an amazing indicator that you're doing the work. You're doing it. You're healing. You're recovering. You're going towards that finish line by doing the work, by feeling like shit every day, right? Having new symptoms. Okay, right? The finish line is coming. It's a good indicator. Congratulations. You're doing it. Keep going. Understanding what's going on is half of it, because it really does help. When you understand what's going on, it takes half of the fear away, right? And when you start to see the patterns after the knowledge that you're getting right now, when you start to see the evidence of it happening, going, oh, what Helmut was saying, that's totally true. That does make, or, you're like, yes, that's happening. Oh my God, I'm getting it. Okay, good. That's a golden nugget. I'm starting to see the patterns. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Okay, so I'm right about that. Okay, so that's a big check mark. Thank you. Right? That's half of it. Because when it happens again, you're going to be like, oh, here we go. Right? Your brain's like clockwork. It's like a machine. Right? Once you get to you learn it, it's predictable. Somewhat, usually. Right? When something happens, you go, oh, I know what that is, with trust. With confidence. You start to see the patterns. You go, oh, I know what that is. Right? You call it bluff. It's poker. Constantly. You're constantly becoming a wizard at physical mental alarm poker. I should call it the alarm system reset poker game. Either way, you're going to win. You're going to win the big pot. You're going to big big money. You're going to learn some shit, right? And then people might say, "Okay, well, if half of it is learning why it does this, great. But can you tell me how to get out of this? How to stop freaking out when I get a new symptom? It's traumatizing me. New is scarier than old. Old is scary. And current ones are also scary. Because it makes me think I'm going to be stuck forever. And it makes me think I got to start all over again when I got an old one. But new is scarier because it's unfamiliar territory. My brain really latches onto that. It loves it. Right? It gives me the OCD looping thoughts, and I start pacing around in the room, freaking out. Start Googling. Start going down rabbit holes on Facebook groups where the Karens tell me that I'm going to be stuck for the rest of my life. And try this supplement. And you better go on disability. You're fucked. I was fucked for 30 years. That means you are fucked for 30 years. Too bad. So sad. Get used to it. Right? These Karens are so fucking miserable, they want to make you miserable. Because life ain't fair. Why should you recover? That's not fair. Because I'm not willing to have an open mind and try this mind-body space. I'm going to poo-poo on it. I'm going to shit all over it with peanuts and corn. It's going to smell like Parmesan cheese with a little bit of bloody burrito, beef, right? I'm going to poo-poo on everything. which grinds my gears that these people are, in charge. These moderators are in charge of these groups that have like 40,000 people, and they get to decide the future of these people's lives and their health. Like, no, you're gonna stay sick. Fuck that. No, if I'm gonna be sick, you're gonna be sick. But you can recover. Fuck that. Not gonna happen. That's not fair. If I'm sick, if I've been sick for 26 years, trust me, I've tried it all, right? I'm miserable. My husband left me 5 years ago. He was the love of my life. My kids hate me, right? I have 3 cats. I'm miserable. I can't. So yeah, if I haven't shaved my pussy in like 8 years. It smells like a bag of onions down there. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck you. And fuck you again. So how do you get out of that? How do you not go down these rabbit holes with these crazy Karens? How do you not freak out in Google? How do you not, you're going to pretty much feel like you're starting all over again because your baseline's going to go through the roof. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to fix. You're ruminating, right? It's exhausting because you're in terror. You're in constant terror, especially with a new symptom. And what the fuck? How do you get out of this? This is what I tell you. This is what I'll tell you. I've been through this whole bullshit over and over again. Like, I've been through this. I've had so many freakouts along this journey. It's probably why it took me 3 years. And technically 3 years is not a long time to recover, especially when you had over 30 years of bullshit. Anyway, I can tell you what not to do, but are you gonna actually do it? Right? You're human, right? I can tell you, dial down the fear. Don't freak out. Fear, all it does is just fuels the fire and it just keeps the symptoms on. So don't be scared then. That's it. You shouldn't freak out. Why are you freaking out? Send some messages of safety instead. Don't freak out. Why are you freaking out? Relax, bud. Just relax. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Right? Do you think that's going to work? Realistically. Right? Technically. No. Even if I were to sit with the fears, if I would tell you to do the methods of, just allow it to be there. Ask for more. Engage. All the things that help. That are all the pillars that get you to recovery. In the moment when you're having these freakouts, everything is irrelevant. Everything is shit. Nothing's gonna work. Nothing. That's the reality. All the shit that you were reading and learning, it could be the best program, it could be the best coach in the world. It could be, you have the secret key to the universe right here. Here you go. Right? All that shit goes out the fucking window because the brain is so intense on getting your attention that you're going to forget anything you learned anyway. So I can give you the methods. I can give you the advice about what to do with the methods, which you already know, which you're already practicing. Or I can be honest with you and tell you what to really do. Or I can be straight up front with you and tell you what it took for me to do it. And you know what the answer is? This is the real shit. You ready? I had to freak out. I just had to let it happen. I had to get to know these symptoms. So the first time is always a shit show. You can try not to freak out, right? Sometimes you're lucky. This is where it's like Russian roulette. If you Google 9 times out of 9.5, you're going to make it worse. And you're just fueling that cycle, right? But sometimes we slip and we Google and we find something that gives us the reassurance so the alarm goes, right? Or you ask a friend that went through it and they go, yeah, I had that, don't worry, it goes away. And it goes, I had those opportunities and I took advantage of them and they worked. I had to stop Googling. Instead, I talked to people that had been through this journey, and I was lucky that I had those people. The people that recovered fully. And I was able to, not harass them too much, even though I did sometimes. I'd be like, yo, I'm freaking out right now. I'm having this. Did you have that? Yes, I did. It all melted away. I'm fine. I'm thriving. Expect that. Having some people like that is gold. So make sure you try to Be a part of a community that's supporting your recovery, not these Facebook groups that destroy you and sabotage your recovery. Make sure you talk to people that recovered, right? Have a little support group where you guys try to only talk about symptoms that will help with the brain looking for evidence, because the brain's always looking for evidence. And that's when it finds the evidence, it goes, okay, all right, we can turn that alarm off. Then it's good for you. Then it's all right. But not also, you got to find the sweet spot. You don't want to be a reassurance junkie, because that just reaffirms to the brain, yes, we're in danger constantly. We're looking for reassurance from what? Danger. So there's that. That will help, right? When you have an alarm and you have evidence goes, no, you're fine. Right? You can always go to the hospital. I did that 3 times a week. We have a free healthcare here. So I was a reassurance junkie. I was in the hospital 3 times a week. And the brain knew that. So it kept sending me more bullshit. I kept getting these tests done. And it's like, yeah, helmet, no, the blood work looks good. I don't know what you're feeling right now. I know your heart rate's higher, but people sometimes have a high heart rate. That's normal. It's not an emergency, and some people have that. Maybe you have blood pressure. Maybe you have a heart that's not, but it's not okay, that's not helping me. Or 99% of the time, they couldn't really help me. They just looked at me like I was fucking crazy. So it's that, you don't want to go there. So that's off the table. So what's on the table? Looking for people that you can bug once in a while, right? To get the evidence so you can move on with your recovery. And remembering, having a little book where you go, I had this so-and-so new symptom popped up August the 7th, and the details of it, yeah, it was itchy, it hurt, had a lot of pressure. I don't know. My brain's telling me it's, yeah. But I'm going to erase that. Fuck that. Fuck it. New page. Okay, it feels like blah, 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 blah. August the 17th. Blah, blah. Right? Put that book away. You got a little bit of evidence. Right? The symptom passes. Symptom comes back. Go to your book. Oh, I had that. I totally forgot that I had that. And it passed. So this is going to pass too. Our goal is to have the new symptom become an old symptom, or a symptom that you're used to being around. That's the goal. So the only way to do that is to allow that new symptom to be and let it do its thing and get to know it. Experience it. This is what you got to think. When you have a new symptom, this is an opportunity for you to experience that symptom as much as possible with repetition. The more you get those out of the way, the more you become indifferent to it. It's exposure. You need to do exposure to your symptoms. The best way to do it is just to let them do their thing to the best of your ability and engage in life. Yes, it's going to suck. The first few times, you're going to be shaky. Your brain's going to be like, what are you fucking... No, attention, right? Yes, that's going to happen. And here's the thing. This is what I say sometimes, and people don't like this when I say it. It's just one of those things that you're just going to have to fucking deal with. You're just going to have to go through it. This is the journey. Some things in this journey, there's no other way around it. You're just going to have to go through it. So there's going to be times for a week you're going to be suffering and looping on a thought about that symptom because it's new. Okay, but you're doing your best to allow it the best of your ability. It's small forms of exposure. Eventually, 6 months later, that symptom will become an old friend. And then it becomes indifferent. And then eventually you don't give 3 fucks when it's there. You fully allow it authentically. No small print, no contracts, no strings attached. Which allows the baseline to come down because you're not fighting and figuring out, trying to fix, ruminate. There's none of that resistance, building that alarm state program, right? That resistance, that baseline, right? That baseline's way up here, alarm, right? When you eventually become indifferent to it, it has time to settle. And the alarms get turned off. When the brain is watching you, goes, yeah, he's indifferent. And his indifference is showing me safety. I'm going to turn that alarm off. Oh, he's not indifferent. He's still a little scared. Let's keep that alarm on just to be safe. Because at the end of the day, my job is to keep them alive, and I don't take risks. I keep alarms on fully, even if it's this much of a threat. Right? Even if it's this much of a threat, or this much of a threat. Even if there's trace amounts of threat, I think that tastes like threat. Let's keep that alarm on. Just in case, because I don't take risks, because I only have one job. So the way to indifference, you're here, you're freaking out, new symptom, and to get here of indifference, it's a journey. You got to have that symptom come in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And the more it comes in and out, the more you're like, meh, I don't care. Right in the beginning, it's like, oh my God, I don't care. Hi, bye, bye, right? And the only way to get to that is to have support, people that have been through it, and go, oh yeah, I had that. Brain looks for evidence, it found the evidence, it moves on. Great. And the other way is you have to go through it, you have to experience your symptoms, let them do their thing. The first few times, it sucks. But you're doing the groundwork of indifference right there. You're doing the exposure. You're writing shit down. Right? It pays off the 5th time it comes back. It pays off the 10th time it comes back. The 20th time, it's already paid off. You're indifferent to it. You don't care. Eventually, it lifts as a consequence of your indifference. So I could tell you to do this or that and the other, but you're human. I was human. Did I listen? No. Fuck. You can try as hard as you can. The more you try to be, no, I gotta calm down. Calm down. No, you're okay. You're gonna be fine, right? Your amygdala is taken over. Your prefrontal cortex is not at a point to hold the ground. And you're gonna notice near the end of your recovery, you're gonna be able to be at a point where you go, I'm fine. And the brain goes, okay, you're fine. We're good. Can you believe that? It does make that shift eventually. Right? If I had some crazy symptom pop up, for example, I might freak out for a minute, but then I'll be like, my prefrontal cortex gets online and goes, now we're safe. Now we're good. Just because I said so. And then my brain goes, okay. Yeah. You know what? You're not running a survival program. Your allostatic loads are pretty in a safe zone. Your baseline's on standby. It's a little up. So I'm going to take your word for it. I trust you. I was going to turn that alarm on. You know what? Maybe I'll turn it on for a couple days. How about that? Let's make a deal. All right, sure. I don't care. Turn the alarm on. Fuck it. I'll do it for you. Dude. Yeah, and you know what? We don't have to do that. Let's just turn it off. Because I want to kind of go. I want to go out. I want to go on vacation. And I was just hoping that I wouldn't have to be here. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. We're good because I said so. I don't have to do any methods. I don't have to do anything to show you that we're safe. I don't have to send you messages of safety anymore. I just have to tell you we're safe. That's it. And you believe me. We've created this trust. And the only way to create this trust is through experience and the right messages. And to make sure that our system is running a safety program. The only way to have that is to have your baseline at 0, standby, and have your alarms off, and your allostatic loads in a safe zone. Right? I'm a visual guy. So, around here is good. Right? Sometimes it goes up a bit. Maybe Christmas time, or your in-laws are back, or your ex called you. Whatever. It might go up a little bit. So when you get a new symptom, I could tell you, don't freak out. If you're able to be that person that doesn't freak out, then you don't need a program. You're a robot. You're not human. So, this is a recap. Look for the evidence with people that are in your community that can fast track you for the evidence so that your alarm system will calm down so you can move forward. Stick to your routine. Get back to living your life. Get back to your routine because it's important to have a routine. I always say, routine, right? And tuck tuck your alarms that are going off, your new symptoms, in your routine. Because that shows that's how you grow indifference. Putting it in your routine, engaging in life. Yeah, you're going to feel like shit. Yeah, you're going to freak out. It's the first few times. You have no choice. It's just one of those things that you have to go through. You have to experience your symptoms. You have to have somewhat of a relationship with them. A little bit of a history, right? This is the only way. This is what I had to go through. This is what you're going to have to go through. But you know what? You're going to learn some shit. And make sure to keep that evidence diary around, the journal. Write that shit down. Because that is going to be a gold mine through this journey of recovery. Trust me. It's a roller coaster. Symptoms are going to come. New ones are going to come out the ass. Literally out the ass. Old ones are going to return. And new ones are going to be just hanging around, not fucking off. Right? Things are going to get worse. This is how it is. It needs to get your attention. When you start turning off alarms and you start to recalibrate, the brain still needs to get your attention, so it's got to get crafty. And it has to do that. You need to get new symptoms. Right? Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be recovering. If you didn't feel like shit, you wouldn't be recovering. So that's an indicator that you're doing the work, so congratulations, that's amazing. Fucking keep going. So those people that are just starting and haven't gotten the new symptoms yet, you need them. They're coming. And they're going to come again, over and over and over again. So, be aware of it. You need them. You fucking need the new symptoms. You need the old ones to return. You need that shit. You have to have it. You need it. And it's a good thing. It's an amazing thing.